An all-you-can-eat buffet looks like a deal that shouldn't be possible. One flat price, unlimited food, every dish you can imagine. So how do they make money? The answer is a set of clever, carefully designed tricks, built into the plates, the layout, even the drinks, all working quietly to make sure you eat less than you think. Once you can see the game, you can play it on your own terms, eat better, stay safe, and actually get your money's worth. Today, 12 buffet secrets, counting down to the single best one, exactly how to beat the buffet at its own game. Let's load up a plate and dig in. Number 12. Notice how small the plates are. The plates at the start of a buffet are often smaller than a normal dinner plate, closer to a side plate. That's no accident. A small plate fills up fast, which sends you off to sit and eat sooner, and makes each trip back feel like more effort. Study after study shows that smaller plates lead people to eat less food overall. You can always go back, but you'll be a little fuller and a little less likely to, each time. So if you want your money's worth, don't let the small plate limit you. Take what you actually want, and don't be shy about going back. Number 11 is about what's at the front of the line. Number 11. The first things you see are the cheapest and most filling. Buffet layouts are designed with ruthless care. The bread, the rice, the pasta, the potatoes, cheap to make and very filling, are placed right at the front. There's a reason. Studies show most people pile their plate with whatever's in the first tray, and a huge share of everything they eat comes from those first few dishes. By the time you reach the expensive meats and seafood, your plate, and your stomach, are already half full. So walk the entire buffet before you take anything. See everything first, then fill your plate with what you actually value most. Number 10 is in the serving spoons. Number 10. The serving utensils are sized to steer you. Look closely and you'll spot the trick. The cheap, filling foods often come with large serving spoons, so you scoop up a big helping without thinking. The expensive items, the meats, the seafood, get small tongs or little spoons, so you take less per grab. It's a quiet nudge that pushes more low-cost food onto your plate and less of the pricey stuff. So don't let the utensil decide your portion. If you want more of the good stuff, simply take a few extra small servings. You're allowed. Number 9 is what they hand you to drink. That endlessly refillable soft drink feels like part of the deal, and it's pure profit, costing the restaurant pennies. But it does something cleverer than make money. Carbonation and sugar fill your stomach, taking up space that would otherwise go to food. The more cheap soda you drink, the less expensive food you eat. The huge glass and the frequent refills aren't just hospitality, they're a strategy. So if you came to eat, go easy on the soda. Water, or just a little, leaves far more room for the food you actually paid for. Number 8 is about the items you can't quite find. Number 8, the expensive items are deliberately hard to find. A buffet advertises its premium dishes, the shrimp, the carved meats, the crab, to lure you in. But once you're inside, those costly items are often tucked away at the back, in a far corner, or refilled slowly and in small amounts. The cheap, filling food is front and center. The luxury is quietly out of the way. They want the promise of luxury to draw you in, without you eating too much of it. So seek out the premium stations on purpose. Find them, and don't be afraid to go back for the dishes that cost the restaurant the most. Number 7 is built into the room itself. If you're still with me, here's the cleverest one. Number 7, the line itself is designed to slow you down. Those natural bottlenecks, a narrow path, a single line, a slow-moving queue at a popular tray, aren't just bad design. They quietly pace how fast you can get food, which means you eat more slowly, feel full sooner, and make fewer trips. The very layout of the room is a tool to limit how much you consume. The harder it is to get to the food, the less of it you'll eat. So don't get discouraged by the crowd at the line. Be patient, get what you want, and remember the slowdown is part of the design, not a reason to give up. Number 6 is simmering in the soup pot. Number 6, the soups and mixed dishes are where yesterday goes to live. Buffets hate waste, because every thrown-away tray is lost profit. So the trimmings, the day-old vegetables, the meat that didn't sell, they get a second life. Industry insiders even have a name for it: trickle-down specials. Those leftovers get repurposed into soups, stews, hashes, and stir-fries, seasoned up and put back on the line looking brand new. It can be perfectly tasty. It's smart, waste-saving cooking. But if you want the freshest food, lean toward the simple, single-ingredient dishes over the mixed ones that are easiest to build from leftovers. Number 5 flips everything you assumed about timing. Number 5. The best time to hit a buffet is when it's crowded. It's tempting to go in the quiet hours to skip the lines, but that's exactly when the food is at its worst and least safe. In slow periods, trays sit out far longer, drying out and sitting in the temperature range where bacteria grow. When it's busy, food is eaten and refilled constantly, so everything on the line is fresher. High turnover is your friend. A packed buffet means the trays are being replaced, not left to sit. So go at peak times. The crowd is the price of getting the freshest, safest food on the line. Number 4 is the rule the kitchen is supposed to follow. Number 4, there's a clock running on every tray, and not everyone honors it. Food safety authorities are clear. Perishable food left out should be discarded after about 2 hours, and after just 1 hour if it's really warm. Hot food is supposed to stay genuinely hot, and cold food genuinely cold. But with food costs high, some places quietly look the other way when an untouched tray hits that mark, rather than toss it. Food sitting lukewarm in that in-between zone is where the real risk lives. So trust your senses. Steam rising means hot. Cold dishes should sit on ice. Anything lukewarm, dried out, or crusty at the edges has been there too long. Skip it. Number 3 tells you everything in one glance. Number 3, the number of staff tells you how safe the buffet is. Buffets are cheaper to run partly because you serve yourself, so some cut costs by running on too few people. But a safe buffet needs constant attention, replacing trays, monitoring temperatures, cleaning spills, restocking clean plates. When you see a busy, attentive staff working the line, that's a green flag. A buffet with almost nobody tending it is a warning. No one watching the line means no one catching the food that's been out too long. So glance around. Plenty of staff actively tending the food is one of the best signs you're somewhere that takes safety seriously. Number 2 is in your hands, literally. Number 2, every serving spoon has been touched by hundreds of hands. This is the hidden hygiene reality of any buffet. The same tongs and spoons are handled by every single guest, all day. That spreads ordinary germs, but it matters most for 2 groups: anyone with a serious food allergy and anyone avoiding certain foods, because shared utensils carry tiny traces from one dish to the next. A spoon that was just in a wheat dish and then in another tray carries a little of the first with it. So wash or sanitize your hands before you eat, and if you have a real allergy, be genuinely cautious at a buffet. The cross-contact is hard to avoid. When in doubt, ask the staff for a fresh, separately served portion. And that brings us to number 1, how to actually win. Number 1, here's how to actually get your money's worth. Now that you know every trick, the strategy writes itself. First, walk the whole buffet before taking anything, so the layout can't steer you. Skip, or go very light on, the cheap carbs at the front and the belly-filling soda. Head straight for the expensive proteins, the seafood, the carved meats, the dishes that cost the restaurant the most. Use a normal-sized plate, take what you want, and go back as often as you like. And do it all during the busy hours, when the trays are freshest and constantly refilled. That's the whole game. The buffet is built to fill you up cheaply before you reach the good stuff. Beat it by going for the value first, eating mindfully, and ignoring every nudge designed to slow you down. Play it that way, and the all-you-can-eat finally works in your favor.